Pete Maysmith with the LCV Victory Fund, he's the senior vice president, has this to say about this issue of red tide, the blue-green algae, the problems there in Florida. He says, Rick Scott denies climate science and slashed environmental protections contributed to the red tide crisis that's devastating Florida businesses, killing wildlife, and threatening families' health.
Hi, I'm Pete Maysmith. All of that is true, but it looks like we're going to have to make a couple of corrections here.
And here is a bit of an ad from the League of Conservation Voters as well.
Scott took over $1 million from corporate polluters and savaged environmental safeguards, slashing $700 million from water protection. No wonder he doesn't want to talk about it.
So how do you respond, Governor?
Well, you live in reality. First off, red tide has been around since the 1840s, and it's naturally occurring.
Wrong. Climate scientists say the current red tide crisis is being fueled by pollution runoff and climate change. But Rick Scott is a climate denier and who's so anti-science, he even banned the very words climate change.
We've actually done a whole bunch of things to help all of our local communities. Senator Nelson has never done one thing.
Actually, Rick Scott had the chance to do something years ago to stop these algae blooms, but didn't. Meanwhile, Bill Nelson has a 95% record on protecting the environment.
We've had an issue when we get too much rain because Lake Okeechobee, a federal project, Senator Nelson and Barack Obama wouldn't fund it. We've had, algae issues, and what happened? It's because Bill Nelson doesn't do his job.
Wrong again. In 2016, Bill Nelson worked with Barack Obama to get $2 billion to help restore the Everglades and Lake Okeechobee.
We have funded a federal project to stop it, and actually, once President Trump got elected, now I've gotten it through President Trump and Congress, we're going to deal with that issue. Bill Nelson has never done one thing on the environment other than he'll run an ad about it, but he'll never do anything about it.
Bill Nelson literally helped get the water funding through Congress that you just talked about. Rick Scott is the one who denies climate change and cut $700 million from protecting clean water. And he's the one spending millions on ads to cover up his toxic record. Don't get tricked by Red Tide Rick. Vote for Bill Nelson by November 6th.